Hello, we all good? Sun's out, it's raining, sunny, happy days. Kel's just bored. How's everyone? Today we're going to talk about, kind of follow on a bit from networking. We're going to talk about personal branding today. So that's what we're going to have a little chat about. A bit of personal branding, just sort my tea out. Gingering up today, which is good. I've got a little bit of cake, but I thought that was a bit messy actually. And obviously, I've got a question. I've got a question for you. So answers in the chat box. Very exciting questions today, because I hope to think we're coming out of lockdown a little bit. And I thought what I might need to do is we might need to go out for tea. So what I thought I'd do is go out to the Ritz for tea. So the Ritz for afternoon tea. And my question today is, how much is the Ritz? Is afternoon tea? I'm sorry, not much is the Ritz. That'd be very expensive. How much is afternoon tea at the Ritz? And it's just like standard tea. So it's your choice of tea, pastries, cakes, scones, and sandwiches. How much afternoon tea at the Ritz if we book it today? And maybe I'll crowdfund me. And I'm aware that some people might have been, so you might have a very good guess. But how much for tea at the Ritz? No champagne, unless you want to throw that in for me. Wow. Wow, we're not that bad in London. It's not that bad. Okay, so we've got £75, £250. Anybody else want to have a guess there before I start? Just sort my tea out. How much is tea at the Ritz? And then obviously, if you want to have a little whip round and send me for tea at the Ritz after tea at 3, that'd be lovely. Post tea at 3. I'll tell you at the end. I've got a couple of other questions actually today as we go through. So keep those fingers active, because my tea's taking a little bit of time to brew. Oh yeah, per person. Yeah, per person. I want Clara. Yeah, sorry, per person. Yeah, per person. Because £250 could be right, of course. But yeah, per person. I'm after. That's a very good question. And I didn't explain it very well. So I just sort my tea out. So welcome. There's a few more people joining in now. So how much per person is tea at the Ritz? If you book it now online, live. That's what I've been doing this morning, checking it out. So I'll just now come up with an amount that doesn't even. It's not divisible. 250 isn't divisible by 80, but minor point. Anyway, let's do a little bit of personal branding. That's what we're going to do. So we'll have a little chat. That's nice. So we'll have a little bit of chat about personal branding and what it is. And I'm going to start with. Everybody's got a personal brand. I don't know if anybody out there has really ever thought about what their personal brand is. But your personal brand is what people say about you when you're not in the room. So we all have a personal brand already. I guess the next thing is that the brand I want, and have I really considered what my personal brand is? But everybody's got a personal brand, and it is quite simply what people say about you when you're not in the room. Now is it important? Because a lot of people say, well, I don't care what people say about me, but it kind of impacts so much, certainly professionally, on what we do, offers we get, work we get, that sort of thing. So what is your brand? Now, you can move your brand, you can change your brand about a little bit. We think of somebody famous, maybe like David Beckham. Brand Beckham is actually a thing. And, you know, if I go back to a little while ago, you know, David Beckham was one of the most vilified people in the country after a World Cup. There was effigies of him being, you know, hung out everywhere. And yet Brand Beckham, he became so strong that he became an ambassador for England trying to capture the World Cup. So he really shifted his brand. Now, there's probably people you work with at the moment and you know them for their brand. You know, you might say something like, oh, they're really resilient, or they really get results, or they can be really aggressive, or something along those lines. So brand can be positive and it can be not so positive. And there's lots of things that shape brands that we kind of come into. You know, if you think like supermarkets, something as simple as that, then, you know, there's certain supermarkets, maybe things like Marks and Spencer's, Waitrose, from a food point of view, their brand is about quality. Whereas if you come down into something like Aldi and Lidl, it's about availability, it's about price. That's what it's about. And you know, then there's what some of the supermarkets have tried to do is do a brand within a brand. So, you know, you have like value in Tesco, taste the difference in Sainsbury's, all that kind of stuff. So they're kind of savers in Morrison's and the best in Morrison's. They're trying to double brand. And that kind of got Tesco's into a little bit of trouble by trying to do all of those brands. Tesco Express, superstores, mega stores, all that kind of stuff. So your brand is interesting. If we bring it into personal branding, which is where we're going for, what do you want to be known for? So importantly, that my first question here for you guys really is, what do you want to be known for? How would you want people to describe you when you left the room? So, what kind of words would you want people to talk about you? How would you like them to speak of you, describe you in 3 or 4 words? Got some people joining. You'll see some chat in there. My question today that I'd love you to fill up that chat box with is, what is the price per person of tea at the Ritz if you're booking it up today? Tea at the Ritz, how much would it cost you? So type it in. We've only got 3 or 4 in there at the minute. So let's get a few. Is Crofty on? Come on, Crofty, don't let me down. So that's the first thing. So how do I want to be known? So you might say, well, I want to be professional, I want to be honest, I want to be reliable. And all those words are fine. I don't have a problem with them. But what you've got to think about is, what am I doing to confirm my brand? So the question, no, it's not just a cuppa. So it's afternoon tea at the Ritz, guys. So what it is, afternoon tea. So it's tea, your choice of tea, many blends, pastries, scones, cakes, and sandwiches. So tea at the Ritz, no alcohol involved. It's just tea, cake, and sandwiches. So per person, I'm after. That's what we're after. No blaming other people, Mr. Croft. So your values, reliability, honesty, whatever you want, what I want you to think about is, okay, how do I display that? How does my brand come across? And so that's one of the aspects. It's the behaviors that you use. There are other things, of course, in branding. It's about your behavior. It's about how you look. Loads of you out there will know, you'll see it on me, but my name's Ian, and I loathe my name. My name ages me terribly. There was no Ians born in England in the last 3 years. So my name is a real 60s, 70s name. So immediately somebody sees my email signature, there's lots of unconscious bias going on about how old I might be. It'd be pretty accurate in this case. So, names are another way that brand kind of impacts on us. And you'll see people like tweak their name, just change their name slightly, adjust their Facebook profiles. You might have a friend on Facebook with like a quite an odd name, like Peaches or something they've changed. Now, certain names are quite good, like alliterative names, like, I don't know, David Dickinson, off of the Antique Show. First name begins with D, second names begin with D. These are more memorable names. It is more than Tesco and Hoodoo, yeah. So those names stick with us a little more. So lots of people have changed their names. So I'm just going to throw some names at you. Just type in. I'm sure you'll know some of these. So these are people who've changed their names in a reach for higher success. And the first person I'm going to throw in is yes, Carly Cole. You're very good. That was very handy that you married somebody with the correct letter. Maybe that's what you're looking for. So the first person I'm going to throw is Harry Webb. Who's Harry Webb? Type in your answer. That's the first one. Who's Harry Webb? These are all singers I'm going to use. But who's Harry Webb? Anybody know that one? Anybody know who Harry Webb is? Gives me a chance to have a little sip of tea. Singer, one of the most famous singers. Very good, Carly Cole. It is Cliff Richard. That's good. So Harry Webb changed his name to Cliff Richard. Second one I'm going to use is, let's go for Robin Fenty. And that's Robin, R-O-B-Y-N. Robin Fenty. Another singer, changed their name. Any ideas? And it is very definitely a woman, this one. Robin Fenty. Anyone know? No Googling. Okay, Robin Fenty might have caught you a little bit more, but it's very good, Anna Powell. Yes, Rihanna, because Rihanna's clothesline is, of course, Fenty. And what Rihanna has done is just use one name, Madonna, that sort of thing. So Cher, those people with single names, good. And the last one is Jessica Ellen Cornish. Anybody know that one? Jessica Ellen Cornish. Type that one in. Again, it's a singer, and it's a lady again. Jessica Ellen Cornish. Anybody know who that is? Nobody sure on Jessica. Okay, I'll give you this one. Maybe they're coming through a little bit slowly, but Jessica Ellen Cornish, yeah, it's a good guess, and it's Jessie J, yeah. So Jessie J, or Jessica Ellen Cornish, took that alliteration of the JJ name to just give her brand that slightly stronger feel. So names can give you some sense of brand identification. Clothes you wear can give you some kind of brand. There may be people you work with. They maybe always wear a hair accessory, a scarf, a certain jumper, or a waistcoat, or something like that. And myself, many years ago, in the business, I think I was certainly known. I used to wear flowery shirts all the time. Just wore flowery shirts all the time. Every shirt I wore had a flower on it, whether it was a shadow, whether it was a return cuff or collar. I always wore flowers. Fashion will dictate, but it became my brand to the point where I was not only known by my name, but also by the fact that I would always wear flowery shirts. Now, I don't really wear them anymore. But interestingly, this is I think this is number 22 or 23. And for all 23, and this was quite purposeful. It wasn't at the start, but it became quite purposeful. I've worn the same brand of shirt on every tee at 3, even today, even though it's not quite so blatant today. But every day I've worn the same brand of shirt. There's no little logo on this one, but it's the same brand. And so you kind of get used to your brand. And that, interestingly, one of my colleagues commented on it when I went into the office and I was casually dressed. And the guy said to me, "Oh man," he said, "you're even on brand when you're casually dressed." And that's just one of the things that I'd probably sort of unaware I do. It's just become a subconscious thing. But clothes, what you look like, how do you want to be seen? I want to be seen as a L&D professional. And I think I used to go into clients thinking, have I got to dress like I'm working in an insurance company? I'm working in a leisure industry. I'm working in pharmaceutical. It's like, it's better to go in as Ian Caldicott and stay true to my brand. So that's the other thing there about check your consistency. Make sure you're being consistent and not changing. Brands can change. Certainly people like Madonna and David Bowie are very effective at changing their brands. What else can we do to check your brand? Google yourself. I'm sure some of us have done that, but Google yourself. If you Google me, it's me. A name like Ian Caldicott, there is only me there. You've got a name like David Smith, you're a wee bit safer. But Google yourself. You can't control what's there, but what you've got to think is what is going out. So how am I being seen, particularly on things like LinkedIn and stuff like that? What do I go out as? What am I constantly seen as? And that will impact your brand. So key things that we can do then. Well, firstly, do good stuff. Do good work, regardless of whether you want it to be reliable, the best. If you do good work, then people will still start to notice you. So do good work. Be known for something. If you left your business, what do you want your legacy to be? What do you want people to be saying about you if you're no longer there? And think, how can I create that? What is that kind of energy? What are the words that I want people to be talking about me? And think about how you're going to do that. And pick how you're going to showcase for two groups of people. One, people you currently know, and one, people who you believe can help you going forward. And you almost have to target that branding. I read a little quote online today, and it said, "Remember, your tribe is your vibe," which shouldn't be coming out of the mouth of a man so old, but I quite like the tribe is your vibe. So the people you surround yourself with become part of your brand. So if you're constantly with a group of people that moan and say things won't work, then that's the kind of thing that's going to impact on how you're perceived by other people, whether internally or externally. And additionally, learn to promote yourself, but also don't forget to promote others. So thank people for helping, and that becomes part of your brand, that you're not just trying to step up on people to get your own. You're also happy to take others with you. These are just some simple things. Think about how you want to be known, how you want to be seen and behave, and focus on those three words. What image do you want to portray, both visually and maybe online? Email signatures, names, clothes. Then think about your social media, how you're seen by everybody else. Do good work, stay true to your brand, and plan how you want to put your brand out there. They're the kind of things that help your personal branding. If you link it with what we were speaking about on Tuesday about networking, it will be stronger for you. And I'd like to think it will make your career a little smoother. Now, how much is that little tea at the Ritz? Well, if you book online today, it is £72. So I think one of those early guesses, I think there was a £75 guess. I think it was the first guess in, wasn't it? So Flora, that's £75. So it's £72 if you go. If you want to add champagne, it does go up a bit, or a birthday cake. Now, next Tuesday, we're going to be talking about how to kind of manage upwards, how to influence those senior to us. So that kind of managing upwards, that's the topic I think we'll use next week on Tuesday. Other than that, have a great weekend, everybody. Thanks for taking time out of your diaries to join me, and I'll see you next Tuesday. Thank you so much for joining.